Belief is the foundation of everything you will ever accomplish in life. It is invisible, but it shapes everything visible. You cannot see it, you cannot touch it, but it dictates how far you will go, how much you will grow, and what kind of legacy you will leave behind. At the core of every breakthrough, every invention, every transformation, there is belief. And at the root of every failure, every surrender, every wasted potential, there is disbelief. Belief is not just something you hold. Belief is something that holds you. It either holds you up or it holds you down. Think about it, every single action you take is guided by belief. If you believe you can't, you won't. If you believe you can, you'll find a way. Belief is the seed that determines the harvest. If you plant doubt, you'll reap hesitation. If you plant fear, you'll reap regret. But if you plant belief, belief in your vision, belief in your worth, belief in your purpose, you will reap results beyond imagination. Now let me ask you, what do you believe about yourself? Deep down, when no one is watching, what's the story you tell yourself? Because your life is always moving in the direction of your strongest beliefs. If you believe you're powerless, life will reflect that powerlessness back to you. If you believe you're meant for more, life will open doors to reveal the more that was waiting. The battlefield of life is not outside you, it is within you, and the victory always begins with belief. History proves this. Every great achiever, every revolutionary, every world changer started with nothing but belief. They didn't have guarantees, they didn't have certainty, but they had a conviction so strong that no obstacle could silence it. They faced rejection, yet they believed again. They failed, yet they believed again. They fell, yet they believed again. And eventually, that belief reshaped reality. Belief has the power to turn the invisible into the visible. The greatest buildings were once only in someone's imagination. The greatest companies were once only ideas scribbled on paper. The greatest movements were once only a fire in someone's heart. Belief is what gave them life. Without belief, they would have died as dreams. With belief, they became history. But here's the tragedy: most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lack belief. They've been told too many times that they're not enough, and they believed it. They've faced too many setbacks, and they believe those setbacks define their future. They've compared themselves too often, and they believe they were behind. And slowly, they stopped trying, not because they couldn't succeed, but because they stopped believing they could. Let me make this clear. Belief is not naive hope. It's not pretending life is easy. Belief is a choice to trust that no matter how hard it gets, you can rise. Belief is a decision to see possibility where others see impossibility. Belief is not the denial of reality, it's the refusal to be limited by it. Your mind is a factory, and your beliefs are the instructions. If you believe in limitations, your mind will build walls. If you believe in possibilities, your mind will build bridges. Which one do you want to live behind? Walls or bridges? Here's the beauty: belief is not fixed. It can be built, it can be strengthened, it can be expanded. Every time you push past a limit, your belief grows. Every time you overcome an obstacle, your belief deepens. Every time you achieve something you once thought was impossible, your belief multiplies. Belief is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But just like a muscle, belief can also weaken if you don't exercise it. That's why you must guard it. Guard it from negativity. Guard it from people who project their fears onto you. Guard it from the voice inside that tells you to settle. Protect your belief like treasure, because it is treasure. It's the fuel for your destiny. Some of you here today don't need more resources. You don't need more opportunities. You need more belief. Because when you truly believe, resources find you, opportunities chase you, doors open for you. Belief activates action. Belief awakens creativity. Belief attracts provision. It's not magic, it's alignment. When you believe, your mind begins searching for solutions, your heart begins drawing strength, and your life begins moving in the direction of that conviction. But belief requires courage. You can't wait until everything looks certain before you believe. You can't wait until everyone agrees with you before you believe. You can't wait until there are no risks left before you believe. If you do, you'll wait forever. Belief demands that you leap before the ground appears beneath your feet. It asks you to step into the unknown with nothing but conviction. And those who dare to believe like that are the ones who discover the limitless life. So let me challenge you. Stop borrowing beliefs that don't serve you. Stop carrying the lies you were told as a child. Stop replaying the failures of yesterday as proof of your limitations. Those are not truths. They are chains, and you've carried them long enough. Break them. Replace them. Build new beliefs. Start believing you are capable of more than what you see right now. Start believing your potential is greater than your past. Start believing your destiny is bigger than your doubts. Because the truth is, you don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to believe enough to take the next step, and step by step, belief will carry you into places you never imagined. Belief is the language of the limitless. It's the force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary, the average from the exceptional, the dreamers from the doers. And the best part, you already have it inside you. You've believed before. You believed enough to learn, to grow, to keep going. Now it's time to expand that belief. It's time to unleash it. So today, decide. Decide that you will no longer let disbelief define you. Decide that you will no longer shrink to fit someone else's opinion. Decide that you will no longer let fear disguise itself as realism. Decide that you will believe, not in perfection, not in guarantees, but in progress, in growth, in the possibility that your best days are still ahead. Because once you do, once you truly unlock the power of belief, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can limit you. There comes a moment in life when you must confront the truth that the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is not the world, not your circumstances, not even other people. It is you. More specifically, it is the limits you've accepted, the stories you've believed, and the barriers you've built within your own mind. Key point 5 is about breaking those barriers once and for all, because the truth is, most of the walls that hold us back don't exist anywhere except in our own thinking. We grow up in environments where people tell us what we can and cannot do. Some of it comes from love, some of it comes from fear, and some of it comes from their own limitations. We are told, don't aim too high, you'll get disappointed. We are told, that's not for people like us. We are told, be realistic. And slowly, without even realizing it, we start building invisible prisons in our minds. We carry these prisons with us into adulthood, into relationships, into careers, into every decision we make. And then we wonder why we feel stuck, why we feel small, why we feel like there's more inside us than what we're living. But here's the truth. Those barriers are illusions. They are lies disguised as truths. And the most dangerous prison is not made of bricks and bars. It's made of beliefs and fears. I want you to imagine for a moment an elephant tied to a small rope. From a distance, it looks absurd. An animal so powerful, so massive, held by something so weak. But the reason that elephant stays tied is because when it was young, it was tied to that same rope. Back then, it pulled and struggled and tried to break free, but it was too small, too weak, and eventually, it gave up. Over time, it stopped trying. So now, even though it could easily snap that rope, it doesn't even try. Why? Because the barrier is no longer physical, it's mental. The same thing happens with us. We tried once, we failed, and now we don't try again. Not because we can't, but because we've convinced ourselves we can't. That is the power of mental barriers. But I want you to hear me, you are not powerless. You are not stuck. The rope around your potential is not stronger than you. It only feels that way because you've believed it for too long. The moment you decide to test it, the moment you decide to challenge it, you'll realize it was never real power. It was only borrowed power from your own acceptance. Every breakthrough in life happens when you dare to question the limits you've accepted. When you ask yourself, what if the barrier is not out there, but in here? And when you're brave enough to face that truth, that's when freedom begins. Some of you have dreams buried under years of doubt. You've convinced yourself you're too old, too unqualified, too late. But those are not facts. They are excuses wrapped in fear. Age is not your enemy. Time is not your enemy. Fear disguised as wisdom is your enemy. You say, I'll start when I feel ready. But readiness is not a feeling. It's a decision. And the decision begins with breaking barriers. Breaking barriers means confronting the voices that whisper, you're not enough. It means pushing back against the patterns that keep repeating because you've been too afraid to disrupt them. It means stepping into the unknown without a map, trusting that you will learn the way as you walk it. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will be messy. Yes, it will test you. But isn't the cost of staying the same even greater? Isn't the pain of regret heavier than the discomfort of growth? Barriers fall when you take action in spite of fear. The first time you speak up when you normally stay silent. The first time you take the risk you've been avoiding. The first time you believe in yourself more than the opinions around you. Each time you do, you weaken the chains. Each time you do, you remind yourself that the barrier was never as strong as it seemed. And let me tell you something. Once you experience the freedom of breaking one barrier, you'll start seeing how many others were illusions too. You'll look back and wonder, why did I wait so long to step out? The truth is, freedom doesn't come from the outside. It begins inside. It's not about waiting for permission. It's about giving yourself permission. But don't misunderstand me. Breaking barriers is not about arrogance. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about rewriting it. It's about saying, I refuse to be defined by fear. I refuse to live smaller than I was created to live. I refuse to let my past dictate my future. Every great story of transformation began with someone who said, enough. Enough of shrinking. Enough of waiting. Enough of letting fear be the author of my story. And when they made that decision, their lives shifted. That decision is waiting for you. So I want you to ask yourself, what barriers have I accepted that are not even real? What ropes are keeping me tied when I know deep down I was meant to walk free? What stories am I telling myself that are holding me back from the life I know I could live? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary. Because until you identify the barrier, you cannot break it. But once you do, once you call it out for what it is, you'll feel a power rise within you. That's the power of choice. That's the power of freedom. That's the power of living limitless. And the moment you decide to stop negotiating with your fears, to stop bargaining with your doubts, and to stop excusing your limitations, that is the moment you step into a life without barriers. So today, make that choice. Break the barriers in your mind, and watch the walls around your life crumble. Because the truth is, the limits you see are not the limits of your life. They are only the limits of your belief. And the day you stop believing in those limits is the day you become truly limitless. There comes a time in your journey when you realize that all the power you've been searching for, all the answers you've been chasing, all the strength you've been hoping someone else could hand to you, has been inside you all along. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right people, waiting for permission, waiting for circumstances to change. But the truth is, life doesn't wait. Life rewards those who step forward in the face of uncertainty, those who dare to claim the greatness within them before anyone else sees it. That is the essence of key point 6, stepping fully into the limitless power of you. Most people live their entire lives like passengers in their own journey. They sit in the back seat while fear drives, while doubt navigates, while the opinions of others decide the direction. They forget that they were meant to be in control, that the steering wheel belongs in their hands. And the longer they stay in the back seat, the more disconnected they feel from their true power. They start thinking life is happening to them, instead of realizing life is happening through them. But here's what I need you to understand. Your power doesn't come from outside forces. It doesn't come from luck or chance, or even from other people believing in you. It comes from the moment you decide to believe in yourself, fully and unapologetically. Think about how many times you've given your power away. You let one person's comment change how you see yourself. You let one failure convince you that you're not capable. You let one moment of rejection turn into years of hesitation. But those moments didn't take your power. They only distracted you from it. Your power has always been there, buried under the weight of fear, doubt, and hesitation. And the moment you strip those away, you realize you're stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for. Your limitless self is not a version of you that needs to be created. It's a version of you that needs to be uncovered. Imagine a diamond covered in layers of dirt. The diamond doesn't need to be made, it's already there. It just needs to be revealed. That's you. Underneath every layer of fear, every layer of doubt, every layer of, I'm not enough, there is a diamond of strength, clarity, and brilliance that is waiting to shine. But you can't shine until you decide to stop hiding behind the dirt and start revealing who you truly are. Now, stepping into your limitless power doesn't mean life will suddenly be easy. It doesn't mean challenges will disappear. It doesn't mean fear will stop whispering in your ear. What it does mean is that you'll face those challenges with a new strength, that fear will no longer control your choices, and that failure will no longer define you. You will start to see obstacles as opportunities, setbacks as setups, and pain as preparation. That is the perspective of someone who has awakened to their limitless self. Too many people underestimate the power of their mind. They think thoughts are just words floating through their heads. But thoughts are seeds, and every seed has the potential to grow into something massive. If you keep planting seeds of fear, you'll harvest limitation. If you keep planting seeds of doubt, you'll harvest hesitation. But if you dare to plant seeds of faith, seeds of vision, seeds of courage, you'll harvest a life beyond anything you thought possible. And the garden of your mind is yours to tend. No one else can do it for you. No one else can decide what grows there. That's your responsibility. And it's also your opportunity. I know some of you have been waiting for a sign. You've been waiting for life to send you a message that it's time. Well, this is it. This is your reminder that you are not meant to live limited, that you are not meant to play small, that you are not meant to simply survive. You are meant to thrive. You are meant to expand. You are meant to create. And you are meant to lead a life that reflects the greatness within you. But here's the catch. You cannot step into your limitless power halfway. You cannot dip one foot into belief and keep the other in doubt. You cannot whisper your dreams while shouting your fears. You have to commit. You have to say, this is who I am, and this is the life I'm claiming. And that level of commitment will terrify you at first, because it means you have no excuses left to hide behind. But it will also liberate you, because you'll finally feel the strength of standing fully in your own power. There's a reason why, When people finally step into their power, their entire energy changes. You see it in their eyes, you hear it in their voice, you feel it in their presence. They radiate confidence, not because they're pretending, but because they've tapped into a source that never runs dry, the source within themselves. And the beautiful thing is, that power is not reserved for a chosen few. It's available to anyone who chooses to claim it. That includes you. So let me ask you, how long will you wait to step into your own power? How many more years will you allow fear to keep you small? How many more opportunities will you let pass by because you convinced yourself you weren't ready? At what point will you say, no more? I'm done holding myself back. I'm done living below my potential. I'm done waiting for permission. From this moment on, I'm choosing limitless. That decision doesn't just change your future. It changes your present. It changes how you walk, how you talk, how you think, how you act. It changes everything. When you step into your limitless self, you stop being a victim of circumstance and start being a creator of destiny. You stop living in reaction and start living in intention. You stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I fly? And even when you stumble, you no longer see it as the end. You see it as a step on the path to your greater self. That is the power waiting for you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. All you have to do is decide. Decide to believe in yourself. Decide to break the patterns. Decide to claim your strength. And decide to live limitless. Because at the end of the day, the greatest tragedy is not that people aim too high and miss. It's that they aim too low and hit. Don't let that be your story. Don't let fear write the script of your life. Don't let hesitation steal your future. You are limitless. And the moment you embrace that truth is the moment your entire life begins to shift.